want to prove them wrong. I want the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital to be a teaching hospital that can stand up to even the Yale University Teaching Hospital. We will give you all the support. And I think SG, you should go and have a meeting with the hospital staff, the Gambian staff. They have a choice, work or go home. There is no negotiation, because I'm not ready to compromise. Not in health, agriculture, infrastructure development, I am not going to compromise now. So, it is very simple. Call them and make it very clear that anybody who doesn't want to work, let them go home. Anybody who thinks that the salary is small, let them go and find a better salary. But you cannot stay in the hospital and steal hospital things and let people die because you want to be rich. That is the wrong place. I'm a president. Look at my hands. I want a lot of money to help people. That's why I go and do farming. I don't spend my holidays enjoying myself. I go and farm physically on my farm in order to get more resources to help the Gambian people. So if anybody thinks that working in the hospital, you're not making money, they are free to go. You can even go to Europe. That's your problem. Not my problem. But you cannot stay there and justify stealing because your salary is small. Because each item that you steal, you are endangering one life or many lives. That is not going to be accepted anymore. And the Minister of Justice, you are here. We were working on another bill to add to the medical, maybe we call it the medical bill. And finance is not here. Now what we are going to do is, one, the licensing of pharmacy is not enforced. You see a dresser dispenser who doesn't know anything about medicine, or a cleaner having a pharmacy and they call the person doctor. And then what happens, somebody has a headache, he goes to the pharmacy and says, oh, you have malaria. Then they give you an injection. Then the guy walks out, collapses and dies. Pregnant women die innocently from the hands of these so-called pharmacists. So I think this is on TV and I'm warning all the pharmacies. You cannot run a pharmacy and it's attended by somebody who has not been trained. It's illegal. Somebody who doesn't know, who has not done training as a pharmacist cannot be at a pharmacy selling drugs. That's one. That is international law. More so to inject people, they issue injections. A pregnant woman comes and says, oh, I have some palpitation and whatever. Then we give them paracetamol. You're causing a miscarriage. And guess what? When things get worse, they just refer the matter to the RBT General Edward Francis Small Hospital. So, there are requirements for you to run a pharmacy. If you have the money to have a pharmacy, good. But it must be attended by a qualified pharmacist. Otherwise, we're going to close all these so-called pharmacies. Also, work with the Minister of Interior and SG, because the customs, GRA, they are under us under enforcement. Now, it is very simple to investigate about drugs in this country. If you have if you have a pharmacy and you have drugs, it's well stocked, you have to tell us where you got it. It is very simple. The bill of lading and the clearance from the customs. If you cannot provide that, then you'll have to explain where you got your pharmaceutical products from. It's very, very simple. But for some reason, some of the fired former ministers also had a stake in it. And this is why things will not work. You say, CM, the Chief Medical Director, you know what happens is that when somebody is tough in this country, there are people that try a chance to see. If you spare them, then everybody starts to try a chance. Because my philosophy is that the first person I get, I set an example of the person. Why? Because if I let that person go and say, oh, I'm warning you, then it means that the whole country, each time a first offender comes, I have to warn him. By the time I'm ready, I look around, there's nothing left in the hospital, everything is stolen. So the first person the first offender you get, set an example. Don't look at anybody's face. Don't look at anybody's face. Because the success of that hospital depends on you and the team you have. We will give you all the support that you need. But don't say, oh, I'm a newcomer, let me just want to say, oh, give people, criminals here to be warned. You warn and say, okay, yes, yes. And then somebody else does. Say, oh, I'm going to delete you. Oh, but yeah, I don't delete it. Well, at least give me a chance. And then so it goes round. So my philosophy is always the first offender in the courts, unfortunately, is the reverse. Because I know Gambia, that's why I'm telling you. Don't compromise. But I will clean that place and it will shine until the hospital in Bansang can see the reflection.
yang ala